The newly formed Houston City Council Committee on Proposition A will meet for the very first time. Houston voters passed Proposition A by more than 83% last November. It allows council members to add items to the agenda. Before Prop A, only the mayor had that authority. Well, this morning we've invited City Council member of District G and chair of the Prop A committee, Mary Nan Huffman, and council member of District D, the vice chair of the new committee, Dr. Carolyn Evans-Shabazz. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
Good morning. Councilmember Huffman, I want to start with you as the chair. I think it's interesting to point out that you guys have both used Proposition A already, actually together with Amy Peck last year after it passed, to add an item to the agenda. So explain to us the need for this committee, like why we need this now. We've seen that it works. If you want to just get something on the agenda, what will happen in this committee?
And really, that's still an option. There's about 3 different, pathways you can take. The mayor has made it very clear that if one of the council members wants to work directly with the administration, they could bypass the agenda or they could bypass the committee. The second option would be just utilizing Prop A, which 3 or more council members place something on the agenda and it can be voted on during that agenda meeting. But it also gives the option that if there's more information needed, that the item could be referred to the Prop A committee, which is what we have now. And really, the purpose of the Prop A committee is just to collaborate, provide transparency, be innovative, and just to make sure that we get the best result.
Got it. Okay. So it's interesting. You've already got some items on the agenda for today that you'll discuss at the very first meeting. Dr. Evans-Shabazz, I know that in council, in recent meetings, they've gotten a little heated because some council members say, hey, this goes against the spirit of what voters intended. And that's the claim. I'm curious what you think about that they say we shouldn't have to have any of these discussions. We just, get 3 council members, put it out there. Councilmember Huffman said that's still a possibility, but I'm interested in your take on that. Do you think it goes against the spirit?
Yeah, well, actually, thank you and good morning. I just don't want it to appear that we are being the gatekeepers of agenda items. The will and the spirit of the voters reflects that it's not a committee required, but of course, if we need to hash out some things or talk about some things to make sure that the item goes on appropriately, then I see no problem with that. But I do want to make sure that it is understood that it is not a forum for us to actually discuss whether we support or don't support an item. That is strictly done in council with the conversations that go on there. And so I just don't want to get it in a position where every item is sent to a committee, because it also keeps us from being able to move forward. And the voters, they want us to be able to serve them in our particular districts. And certainly we don't want to delay it with a committee that normally meets once a month. But of course, we can look at that as well to see if we can schedule meetings more frequently if needed.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, Councilmember Huffman, this is open to the public. People can actually go and speak on any issue that is there at the committee. So maybe that's interesting because you could also hear what members of the public think about it before it goes to the full council meeting. Tell us what's going to happen at today's committee meeting.
Well, because we're kind of blazing a new path, the Prop A language was a little bit vague when it was on the ballot, which, Prop A didn't provide a time frame for it to appear on the agenda. It didn't necessarily ensure that there would be assistance with legal, with, the financial analysis. If we have items that come forward that have a financial impact on the city, that's something that we may hear about in the committee. And so, so today we need to establish some rules because we've never done this before. So the first item will be establishing rules. And then if we get those passed, then we'll hear about the other items that have been placed on the agenda.
Got it. Okay. And some of those items have already been covered in the news because we're talking about that whole parking meter regulation and if they can extend those parking meter pay times. That was something that was presented in council and then it was tagged. And then now you guys can have more discussion on it. Dr. Evans-Shabazz, can you talk a little bit about more about if you guys get to that today, what kind of things you'll hear about and what you want to talk about more?
Well, certainly we encourage the public to come because the items are to reflect the needs of the public. And so we're certainly looking forward to that discussion, as we do at all committee meetings. And so we do have 2 items on the agenda. And just because we send them in committee does not necessarily mean that the persons that submitted those items want those items to continue. So we'll have all kinds of discussions. This is going to be interesting. I think it's my honor and pleasure to serve with Mary Nan Huffman. And again, we're just looking forward. We're going in with an open mind, and we just want to do the will of the voters. And that is to give us the power to be able to put the items on an agenda so that we can move forward to better serve them.
Got it. All right. Well, we appreciate both of you for coming on to talk with us about it this morning. It's nice to see. It's transparent. It's open. The public can attend the meeting, and we'll be covering those issues here on KPRC2 as well. Thank you both so much.
Thank you always. Have a great day.